can assure you nobody's taking that hat for this year.
But I hope he will retire after he loses.
There won't be another coach. I'm impressed with everybody but him.
It's because they're scared that they may be wrong.
Fully capable of surpassing all of them.
I'm going to give her a run for her money.
I'm coming to win. I'm not coming for fun.
Fair and unfortunate.
He's going to come with losses. It's not the end of the world.
Need for a black curtain backdrop, and I get it.
Bodybuilding is my control within chaos.
My conditioning kills.
Look, you got a really exclusive interview because I ain't been saying none of this shit, yo. I've been holding my tongue on the internet.
Yes, guys, a bonus episode, 2 episodes this week of Bikini Insider. And there's a reason why we need to do a bonus one. Me and Mai was talking. We had to get this one up because obviously we all saw the announcement for the Olympia. That fit model is to make his debut on Olympia stage 2026. So let me introduce the people we got today to have a chat about it. We've got the first ever IV Pro in the fit model division. Angie, all the way from America. It's like 5:50 in the morning over there. So I really appreciate you jumping on this early. Emily, of course, won IV Pro Series in bikini, but has already confirmed her transition into the fit model division. And Marty, who knows everything all to do with posing. I was going to lead on to another thing, but I won't because it gets so old. But maybe someone who's 50-50. You know, she IV Pro, who's retired, is she coming back, is she not? We'll save our conversation for another day, or just watch back at other podcasts. Anyway, that's a big enough introduction. Let's go straight into it because the announcement was made that Fit Model, obviously I kind of announced it a while back when I had an interview with Steve Weinberger that he confirmed that the Olympia 2026 will host the Fit Model division. 2025 has been a starter for Fit Model. We got the main course early next year where the pro shows kick off, and now officially deserves to be announced because Olympia will be hosting it. I'm going to start with you, Angie. I think it's the best person to start with because you did create history in 2025 by becoming the first ever Fit Model IV Pro. You're also the first ever overall winner in the NPC rank. So, Angie, when this news came out, what was the first thought that went through your mind?
I think we were all kind of anticipating when they were going to make the announcement because, I mean, already in the last 9 months, 8 months, the division has grown so much. And then slowly over the summer, a lot of the bikini pros are announcing that they're switching over. So it's getting a lot of traction. And the coaches were all anticipating that they were going to announce for the Olympia 2026. So I think we were just all kind of like waiting for that announcement. And once they made the announcement, it's become so real. It's like tangible now. Like, oh my gosh, okay, now it's time to lock in and get focused because this is, I mean, a year from now, it goes by so fast. It goes by so fast. So yeah, it just made it more real and definitely more exciting. It's a new level. It's a new level, and being able to compete on that stage with all the other Olympians, it's really, really exciting.
Emily, for you, obviously you already announced earlier this year that you're going to transition into female division. So you already confirmed you'll be looking to make your debut in the pro shows early next year. But now, obviously, now there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow called Olympia 2026. So this must have really got you excited.
Yeah, so excited. Literally, I've got like butterflies as Angie's talking about it because it does, like, she's so right in what she's saying. It makes it so much more real now. Like, it gives you, of course, you know, it's exciting that Fit Model came into fruition anyway, but to now have like the ultimate goal with it as well is so exciting because it's one thing, you know, for me personally, being in a place where now I feel like, okay, I've got a category that my physique may fit more into. First of all, I need to see if it does. But then if it does, that's amazing because now there's an opportunity to excel within that. And I'm just even more excited now for the shows to be announced. Like, that's all I'm waiting for now. Like, we know we've got the Olympia. We've had, obviously, we're seeing the fit model standard come to light even more and more as the year goes on. But now I want to see when the pro shows are and I want to see what's like on the cards.
Marnie, obviously, look, let's talk about of the UK side and also worldwide, really. I mean, how how monumental is this that even though it's not even been a year since Fit Model has launched, but now all of a sudden, even those pros who are in the bikini ranks who've maybe thought about the idea about transition to Fit Model, the announcement that Olympia will be hosting Fit Model in 2026, what kind of impact do you think that's going to have now on the bikini scene? Or do we think we're now going to start seeing a lot more bikini IV pros transition over to Fit Model? Now they know they got a really big pot of gold at the end of it, and that's called the Olympia 2026.
Well, that was a loaded question. I feel firstly like, because I mean, I've watched a lot of content on Fit Model, obviously. I like to stay informed. And I actually went back and watched an interview that Tyler did with Honey Rambod. I don't know if any of you guys have actually watched that, but it was a really, really good episode. And that was done, like, I think at the start of this year. And I remember Tyler saying, you know, we're not 100% sure yet if we are going to have Fit Model at the Olympia. So when I watched that, I literally just rewatched it a few weeks ago. I thought, oh, this is interesting. Like, I wonder if they will announce it or if they're going to hold off. But I feel like this was needed because I do feel like, again, it's given all the athletes kind of like that same pinnacle to strive for rather than just, I say just a pro card, but it really is going to, you know, showcase more world-class physiques. And I think obviously we need somebody who is going to set the standard other than the old photos of Ashley. So yeah, I think it was needed, and it's really exciting as well that, you know, obviously in terms of the rules and things with all the other divisions that has come out, it's really exciting that you can win any open Fit Model Pro show and you will qualify for the Olympia. So I think it's going to mean that, you know, hopefully there's going to be quite a few pro shows in the calendar, like Emily's saying. I wonder which pro shows that we're going to have. I do feel like the promoters, it would be in their best interest to host a Fit Model Pro show because I do think, again, it's going to entice more girls to want to compete in the NPC, to turn pro, to have the opportunity to do the pro shows, and then obviously earn their qualification. And we might even see over time, as the division does rapidly grow more, that maybe there will be a point system in the future. Who knows? Because I do think in terms of the numbers, I mean, already from what we've seen at an amateur level, you know, the Fit Model classes are busy. Even at like the national level shows in the US, from what I've heard on kind of like other podcasts and things, it seems like the numbers for bikini are kind of staying where they are, and then we're getting this surge of Fit Model, and I think the numbers have increased throughout the season now that people are seeing, you know, what's being rewarded and stuff. We've spoke about this so many times, obviously, in terms of like, you know, the athletes that have sort of been sat on the fence that maybe are planning to compete next year as well. I think we will see more girls, you know, winning pro cards next year and then jumping into pro shows and qualifying for the Olympia. So I think that'll be exciting to see people go from amateur to Olympia qualified in one season, because it's happened in bikini and I think it will happen in Fit Model as well.
So we mentioned about that it was much needed. We also believe that it was also much needed because there still is you know, there is right from the start when we announced Fit Model Division, there was a lot of negativity. Now we're getting towards more 50-50. And you imagine when the pro shows start, it will then start changing more 75% positive, 25% negative. A lot of times you can't get away with negativity. Even men's physique and bikini, they still get it. But having the Fit Model at the Olympia, does that now solidify it as it's a category that the IFBB NPC believe in, and that now it's a category where competitors can now see that they can actually climb, you know, the highest of highest mountains to, you know, solidify them as the first ever, you know, being an Olympian in the Fit Model division. It just adds more substance to the division. I mean, Angie, you're over in America. How is this kind of being perceived, and are you also seeing a growth in the Fit Model division?
There's a huge growth. I think definitely with the summer pro qualifiers, there's like 18, 19, 20. One of the classes had like 23 girls in just a class. And that was, I think most of the classes were up to the 20 range. So sometimes surpassing the bikini classes with how many girls. And I know we have two more pro qualifiers left. And I think definitely it's getting up there with being the most popular. Bikini, I can't really beat bikini with popular. It's really set its foundation within the sport, but with so much positive buzz with Fit Model, there's a lot more girls leaning towards that, and a lot more girls who thought competing wasn't capable for them. They're now easing into that idea of, okay, maybe I can try this, maybe I can do this. And even with the pro qualifiers, oh my gosh, the classes are very competitive, very, very competitive compared to when I first did my pro qualifier. I had maybe six, seven girls in my class. The last show, I believe, in the US, it was in Pittsburgh, and there were 22 girls. So, and they're starting to differentiate, okay, you should be in bikini. No, you should stick to Fit Model. And I think definitely next year with the pro shows, they're gonna start to have a distinct between Fit Model and bikini with the pros.
Do we think as well, because you mentioned that the popularity of Fit Model, I think we all agree. I think majority of people will also agree as the division grows, the opportunity for this division to be the most popular division in the NPC and IB ranks is very high. We've already seen it already. You've said it already at the US shows. With the new point system that applies specifically, let's go for bikini. Now it is become more difficult to qualify for Olympia, and you've got those girls who are maybe always around the third call out or fourth call out, never really broke into our top 10. The Olympia has never been further away now because we're restricting the numbers. Do we see that as now being maybe one door is slowly closing, but now they need to relook and reassess their physique and potentially move over to Fit Model? Now they know that division is at Olympia. And to be fair, a lot of them who are pros in the IP Pro rank, there is that opportunity to create history. The first pro winner at this show, the first Fit Model pro winner at this show, the first ever Olympian to go to Olympia represent Fit Model. Do we see that there could be an influx of bikini pros now moving over to Fit Model, which means Fit Model pro shows could easily be the busiest out of all the divisions? I'll throw a question at any one of you three.
I think so. I was just thinking about what you were saying there, and like obviously as an athlete who is very much like an active pro, you're always assessing your physique, right? Like we're doing it pretty much whatever, even when you aren't like in peak season. And again, like you say, there will be a lot of bikini pros who maybe previously, because I've even clients, but athletes that had kind of made the decision to like go into a big off season to grow a lot of tissue and work on their feedback given from a bikini pro show, for example, which is like maybe to grow more density in the glutes, more upper body. I don't know, it could be anything. And then, you know, now maybe they are sort of looking at their physique and assessing whether or not that's actually what they want to do for themselves as an individual. Because I think all too often, and this is just the nature of bodybuilding, especially if you're really competitive by nature, you take that feedback, you're fired up and you're like, let's go, let's put the tissue on, let's do this, that, and the other. And I think it can be quite easy to maybe lose sight of what you want after competing as well. And like, you know, maybe your values change as a woman as well. And, you know, there's just so many different angles we could go at this from. But I do think that we'll see people again look at how their physique is in the bikini front pose, maybe notice the holes, and then, I don't know, maybe try a Fit Model pose, and maybe they fill out the pose better as they are already. Because, you know, we do need a decent amount of development in the Fit Model division as well. And I've already done, we spoke about this on our podcast, Suki, where I did the little reel of talking about like the differences between pro fit model and amateur fit model. I think the development that we're going to see in the pro shows, because of the IFBB bikini pros that are also going to jump into these shows, I think the level of development in the physiques is going to be significantly different than the amateur shows. Not to the point of like bikini density, but I do think that there's going to be a difference because, again, like we said before, there has to be a way to differentiate them. So yeah, I think for a lot of the ladies who maybe aren't sort of like top 10, top 5 winning pro shows, it would be wise to maybe assess where they are at and just ask themselves, whoever may be watching or listening, ask yourself, what do you want for you as an athlete? Do you want to chase that growth? Do you want to really pursue pro bikini? Or actually, are you happy with where your physique is at currently? And maybe you want to try fit model instead because you might fit the bill with where you're at. So it's one of those. That's my opinion anyway.
Remember, your body is not a project forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sent actually a message. I'm not sure if you want to share it. But there's a Fit Model Pro who keeps all the updates with all the pro qualifiers in the
Everything's frozen on my side.
received her pro card. So there is development with the fit model, but there's a big distinction as to what the judges are looking for. And I notice a lot of the comments with the fit model now is, oh, they're too muscular. Oh, it's looking more bikini.
You can't win.
But if you really put them together, they're very developed in both, but there's a big distinction with bikini still.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see that definitely in the pro league.
Yeah, 100% agreed.
Do you think we've seen developments in 2025 for the fit model? We know pro shows are going to begin. We know it's going to make its debut at Olympia. Do you think we might see we've seen the bikini division continue to evolve since, Ashley Cole was winning it in 2016 to where we're right now with Laura Lee. Do we think that there could be some of the marquee names who place were either winning or placing very high at the Olympia in bikini around those years, who might be thinking to themselves, my God, I could create some history, not only become the first Olympia fit model champion, but maybe that person may have been a previous bikini Olympia champion and wants to become a 2-time Olympia champion across 2 divisions. Yes, obviously, I keep throwing in the universe that Janet Lang will one day make an announcement that she will.
I think we all want to see that. We all want to see it happen. But I think it's difficult because, again, as females and as males, I don't want to just say females, but like, we all have like biological clocks and we all have like things that we might want to do outside of competing. And like, I do think someone actually said to me, it was another promoter, every athlete retires twice. So I don't know if like that's going to be a thing with anybody else that's retired in bikini, but I think ultimately you're still going to have the fire for the sport and the desire to really, really want to do it, because I think it is really hard to come back to it once you kind of decide that it's all said and done. So I do think we'll probably see a few. I hope we see a few because I think that will really shake things up. And I think, again, like Angie said, it's going to be interesting to see the sort of level of density in the pro bikini girls. I don't know, like I think that's going to create more variation in the first few pro shows, because you're going to have, some of the ladies that have just won pro cards versus women that have had a pro card for years and years and years, but in bikini.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's so hard to really determine what's to come. I think there's obviously going to be a clear differentiation between, fit model, amateur and fit model pro, but it's the level of density they do decide to go to. It's the level of condition they do choose to go for. It's where they want to see the density as well. So it's not even just overall, it's like, do they want to see more shoulder caps? Do they want less shoulder caps? How much quad do they want? How much condition do they want in that ham glute tie-in? Because even now in the amateur division, we're seeing I know what I look at, and I look at some girls and I think, okay, that's where I see Fit Model Pro going. And there are other athletes that I'll go, maybe not so much. And that's fine. That's just my opinion and that's my view on it. But it's not until we actually get to those pro shows, and even the first few, you're going to start seeing the standard, but it's going to take a while until we get there. And then it's going to be the Olympia, because we're going to see so many different winners throughout the year. And we're then going to see so many different fit model pros up on the Olympia stage, because as we know, it's not capped. Like, it is anyone who wins. And if we have a lot of winners, there's going to be a lot of variation on that stage. So the Olympia is going to really be the tell-all on what they actually want the standard to be. And yeah, so we got to get there.
I wonder then if the strategy, like just thinking about it now, if I was sat at the table and we were discussing how many pro shows we're going to sanction or whatever, I wonder if it's like in the IFBB's best interest to have as many fit model pro shows as possible to get people to compete, or if it would be better to have less so that more fit model pros are then in a lineup so that it's then more competitive in per pro show. Do you get what I'm saying? So like, say if they only have like 5 pro shows in the whole year, for example, which I don't think that'll be the case. But if there's only 5 shows, there's going to be like an influx of girls in that lineup. So it's going to mean that like the person who wins is by definition, like from the judges, the best representation of fit model. And then at the Olympia, that's going to be the selection. It's going to be like a small number in kind of similar to like what you would say in Arnold, maybe. I don't know.
Right, will be a small group. I think what's the
Oh, Suki, I can't
hear you.
Panic.
Technical hitch.
Not
Sounds
really.
like you've got your hands over the mic. Oh no.
Oh, it's time for a new MacBook.
So I'll share while you're getting your microphone handled. There is some word in the bodybuilding scene.
Oh, I'm listening.
Oh, is this an exclusive?
That some Olympians will be switching over to the fit model. I can't say much more than that, but I think that's really going to inspire a lot of the bikini pros to make the switch, especially if it's kind of on their radar. I think that it's going to, once that announcement comes or announcements, that there's going to be a huge, huge dive into the fit model scene, especially I'm not sure when, if it's like the beginning of the pro season or more towards the Olympia, but yeah, it's pretty, it's when I heard it, I was like, oh my God, okay, it's coming and it's real. And I think that's when it's really going to blow up.
Yeah, I think if somebody has been on the Olympia stage as well as bikini and they decide to make the switch, that's going to suddenly make fit model way more, like a lot of girls are going to think, okay, this is way more attainable for me than if she's going into fit model and I've competed next to her like on the Olympia stage or just in a pro bikini stage. Then others are probably going to start going, oh well, why don't I go for it? Let's just see what happens. And it's more opportunity. Like if you are an Olympian bikini and you can fit into fit model, you've got 2 opportunities there to really try and get to that Olympia stage and thrive. Why would you not give it
and even the top Olympians, after a few years, you have to work so hard to stay on that Olympian stage as top 5 even. And sometimes as a woman, you don't want to do that long term, might not be sustainable. And with this new division, it allows competitors who aren't willing to take risks, but love to compete. And it's really an opportunity for it to just go on with this new division. at a
Absolutely.
healthier
feel
rate,
like you,
you know?
I feel like you've described me.
Yeah, same. Literally, I'm sat here like, yep, that's me too.
It's so true though. It's so true though, because like it doesn't mean that we don't love bodybuilding. Like we've done it for 10 years. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't do something for 10 years plus if you don't live, breathe, and love it. Like we do.
Genuinely enjoy it. Yes.
It's brought us so much. But I do think again, yeah, like it does come to a point, and this was one of the reasons that I personally stepped away from pro bikini, and we've spoke about this already, but like your CNS is just fried constantly, and like it's so difficult to actually reach the demands of pro bikini of today. Like it's no joke. It's so difficult. And like you say now, I think it's a good thing with the point system and whatnot. I think it's gonna make the level of competition even higher for the Bikini Olympia. But now there's even more hurdles to jump over if you aren't kind of like top three at the Olympia, basically. Like nobody is guaranteed that qualification. So all of the qualifications and the Olympia and stuff aside, yeah, like as a preference for your physique and for your lifestyle, like, you know, I think you still obviously love to train, love to follow the sort of clean eating diet, whatever, if you are going to compete in fit model. But I think again, it's just a different avenue and it's a different way of doing it. And I think like for me right now, like with how I train and stuff, like I've actually enjoyed not putting 8 plates aside on a leg press and absolutely burying myself under it to try and build more glute density. Doesn't mean I don't love bodybuilding, but like, yeah, I mean, the girls at the top of bikini, they train so heavy that they have to, because to have that level of muscle, you aren't going to get that any other way. So yeah, I think it's like we've kind of touched on this, and I mean you could probably speak more about this, Angie, as well. Like, I think the way that people will train for fit model might slightly be different to bikini. I don't know if it's exactly the same, but I think it's going to become an art form, like all on its own, like the posing, the training, everything. It will be different to bikini.
Definitely. As training for fit model, you don't have to kill yourself with the weights, or torture yourself with the weights. It's to keep up with that demand, to stretch your muscles and to break them down. It takes a lot, especially as you improve with your lifting. You just have to keep adding and adding. And I think definitely in the last few years, doing the isolation and just really focus mind body connection, mind muscle connection. It goes a long way, especially with this division, because you want to be developed. The goal is to be developed, but not overly developed, especially in like your glutes or your shoulders. So really the balance is key, and training allows for that to be easier on the body.
And the joints and everything else. Yeah.
Yeah, and to be honest, I think fit model is just, in my personal opinion anyway, way more beneficial for your overall health, like long term, because there's obviously when you're getting to the level of condition that is required now for bikini, it's so incredibly lean while still trying to hold on to a significant amount of muscle mass. Like it's so challenging, and to then do that over a prolonged period of time as well, like you're not just, a lot of the time you're not just going into one show and being like, ah, here I am, okay, I'm done now, boom, straight back to health. A lot of the time you're having to hold that level of condition and that level of muscularity for such a long time that that's when your health is going to start, compromised. And like for me personally, it's not somewhere I want to be anymore. I want to be in a place where I'm trying to look after myself and look after my body, but I don't want to move away from the sport. So when Fit Model came about, I was like, oh, okay, there's the opportunity to be able to pursue something that you're so passionate about and still requires a level of dedication, and obviously adherence, but without putting your health at risk as much as some of the other categories.
I think, yeah, it's all like we said before, it's all about you as an individual and how far you personally want to take this and to what extreme. And I think like you could even look at the men's categories and say the same thing, because just because you're not an open men's bodybuilder doesn't mean that you don't love bodybuilding. If you are men's physique and you are not open bodybuilding, you're both part of the sport. You're both developing your physiques, refining your craft, like living the lifestyle. But you would just either prefer, I don't know, like a different look, or maybe your body won't allow for that, or you don't want to push to that extreme. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that at all. It's personal preference. And I just think now there's a space for everybody for how they want to train and how far they want to take it. So I think that's the best analogy, to be honest. Like I say, just because you're not an open men's bodybuilder doesn't mean that you don't love bodybuilding. Like, just because you choose not to compete in bikini or wellness or any of the other classes, it doesn't mean that you don't love bodybuilding. You can still love the sport and admire the other athletes, but it's all down to like your own personal preferences. And I just think like so many young girls getting into the sport as well are really impressionable. And I mean, I was like that when I started competing, and bikini was so different back then. But like I said before, you do get sort of swept up in it and you just chase it and you get so competitive and you're like, let's go. And then again, over time, things change and you don't realize it till you look back. But I urge every single young athlete as well who is pursuing this just to like always stay true to yourself, always stay true to your values, and think long term, not short term, because there's always going to be consequences at some point, whether you pay the price now or you pay the price later.
Yeah, literally. And that goes for, I just have to say, it goes for not only obviously people who choose to be assisted, but if you choose to be natural as well, that doesn't mean that aren't still health.
100%.
Yeah. It's a sport that, you know, you can excel into, but you always have to be aware that there's always going to be a long-term effect, whether you are assisted or natural. Either way, you're gonna have to pay a price at some point. That is the cost of an extreme sport.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm just testing. Can you hear me now?
He's back.
Yay.
Okay. All right. Look, before we kind of wrap it up, Angie, now you know the Olympia is hosting Fit Model in 2026. Am I right to presume that you'll be looking to make history again and targeting maybe the first ever pro show? Maybe that's back in Tokyo?
That's on our radar. 99.9% confirmed. So my husband always says, 1% of doubt, you're out. I'm like, let's get the logistics. But yeah, we're planning to be there for sure.
Do you be one of those competitors where let's say you win and you get your Olympic qualification, would you shut it down to Olympia, or would you consider doing a run of pro shows?
I was talking to my coach yesterday, and the goal would do a run of pro shows. I definitely want to get in front of Tyler Mannion, and get feedback from him, and would be take a break in the middle season and then do another run before the Olympia. So definitely more than one show. It was hard for me because I couldn't compete after Japan in February, so it was hard for me just to like wait for like news, or I'm watching all the new pros in the fit model division. So it's gotten me excited to put my shoes on, my heels on for the pro season. Take advantage of that, and just be a student and learn. Am I going to win every single pro show? I'm just going to show up and I'm going to take the feedback from the judges. And it's so much has changed in the last 6, 7 months with, in the beginning, we didn't know what we were doing. We are just on stage because our coach said, this is for you. But now there's been a lot of fine tuning and what the judges are looking for, and kind of the same panel of judges lately that will be on the panel of the Olympia. So just taking that leap of faith and showing up. The goal, of course, to be on the Olympia stage, Fit Model 2026. I'm declaring it now. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to just get out there and get to work.
Emily, I know we caught up a few weeks ago, but now, of course, it's been announced Olympia Fit Model. Your plan still to kick off the 2026 straight away with the pro shows?
Yeah, definitely. I'm so excited now. Like, not gonna lie, it's given me anxiety, pure anxiety, because the more that people are talking about it, the more you're aware that it is going to be popular. It is going to be, something that now I can see so many people are striving towards. Like, it's lit a fire in a lot of people. And yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really anxious, but it's because I care about it, That's why I'm anxious, because I want to see where I fit. I want to see how I look in it. I want to see if it is for me. And don't get me wrong, I will be gutted if I don't seem to fit, but I need to do a few shows to determine that. I need to do a few shows first to see where I fit, because I need to get the feedback, and I'm just going to show up at that first show, be like, here I am I what you want? Mint, great, let's go. And if they say no, you need to change this, and this, I'll be like, sound, I'll see you in a few shows time. Because again, a beautiful thing with Fit Model is it's definitely one of those categories where you can come in, have a bit of time, go back in a little bit later down the line, have a bit of time. Like, it's one of those, for me personally, it looks like a category where I will be able to dedicate myself maybe, over a longer period of time to it, rather than just going into a season and going, oh, I'm doing 1 or 2 shows. I think Fit Model, I'll be able to go, oh, actually, back in the old days when I would do 5 shows straight, one after another, I reckon Fit Model is something that I could do with that. So 5 shows, let's see what happens, and I'm what they want in any of them.
I mean, I've asked Angie, I've asked Emily, so I'm going to throw something to you as well. I'm not going to say, like, are you doing Fit Model or not? But I'm just going to say, with Fit Model now going to Olympia, has that played any thought in your head? And now you've seen more of where the division is going. I know you've had some people say, yes, you can do it. Some people say, no, she's not. She's staying retired.
I can't help but laugh.
That's better, mate.
Is that laughing because we know what the answer is going to be?
I mean, I don't know. I'm saying nothing. Obviously, I think it's very exciting. Not, do you know what? Like I said this when we've spoken about how I feel about being an IFBB pro anyway. To me, like, it's such a big responsibility, even when I'm not competing, because it's not just about me, it's about so many other people. It's about all the athletes that I help as well. And like, I know now that the girls who are doing Fit Model that are on my posing roster, they're going to be so fired up for this. Like, we've won overalls and stuff at the amateur level, and now the girls who want to turn pro, like, maybe we'll have some girls winning pro cards at the end of this year, the start of next year, that can then do some pro shows and qualify for the Olympia. So, like, me aside, like, I'm just excited for this anyway, like, because you guys know this, like, I am all behind this division regardless of whether I'm actually doing it or not. I just feel like it was needed. I love bikini. I will always love bikini. Like, that's where I started, but Fit Model is technically where I started. The look of Fit Model, because to me, I call it classic bikini, because it is.
Yeah.
So
agree 100% with what you're saying there, mate. I love that.
Right. Before we wrap, I'm going to play a quick little game. I'm going to throw in some scenarios. What I want,
Suki, your microphone has gone again.
All I want you to answer with your heart, not your head. So the 3 answers. It's either
answer with your heart.
Yeah, with your heart, not your head. It's the 3 answers. You either go, yes, definitely, I can see that happening. In the middle answer, where you sit on the fence, I'm not sure, maybe. And the 3rd answer, definitely not. I can't see that happening. So I'll throw a question, and then I'll go around from Marnie, Angie, and Emily. We'll do that. Okay, first one. Ashley Colewater said on Olympia TV that if she was ever to do another class, it would be Fit Model. Do you see Ashley Colewater competing in the Fit Model division before she retires? Marnie?
On the fence.
Angie?
Yes. I
Angie?
think she has a few more years, but she seems the type to just go for it. So I think so. Yeah. I think yes.
Emily?
Oh, I'd say no, because I just think that she fits so perfectly into bikini.
There we go. Okay, we've got 1 yes, 1 maybe, 1 no. Yes, I just think that she loves history and she loves sort of the legacy and want to become a two-time Olympic champion in two different divisions. Next one, Marty, so you. Angelica comes out of retirement to compete in the fit model division. Not sure when, it'll be 1 year, but yes, maybe, no. Over to you, Marty.
Definitely not.
You think she's staying retired?
We know this. Like she's already said, like she's one chapter is closed and a new chapter is open for Angelica.
Things
As
could
much as I'd
change.
love to see it, I don't think it's gonna happen. No.
Angie,
No.
Emily,
Yeah, no. I think she made her return and now she's at the place where she's at peace with where she's at in life.
okay. Angie said in our last Bikini Insider episode, it was actually last week, that she thinks one day when the fit model division continues to evolve, Maureen would be absolutely perfect for it. Start with you, Marnie. Do you one day see Maureen competing in fit model at the Olympia?
Yes, but we're talking minimum 3 years time.
Angie?
No, I think she'd have to really downsize her development, and she's put in a lot of work. You could tell just on her socials how much work she puts into that physique she has, and I think she's bikini all the way.
Emily?
Yeah, I don't think she would switch either. No. I think
Okay.
she's perfect for bikini again.
So do I. That's my personal preference. But I'm saying if she was going to do it, it would be a minimum 3 years downsize, I would say. And let's be honest, who wants to like not train for 3 years at all?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's the reality here.
Next one. Breaking news. Courtney King announced the return to Olympia in fit model.
I didn't hear a word of that.
I didn't hear that either.
Can you hear me still?
It's very broken. I think you need a new mic.
It's working. Okay, 1 second. Can you still hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Breaking news, Courtney King makes the announcement that she's coming back to compete at the Olympia football division. Marnie, what's your answer?
Absolutely not. Are you kidding? She's pregnant again.
Yeah, afterwards.
Nah, she's in like mom life era now. I think
Okay.
that's it for her. Yeah, no.
I'm not too familiar with Courtney. I would need to see a picture, but based off of what
Yeah,
no.
Manny's reaction says it all. That I think she answers for all of us.
No.
Did you ask me then?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it would be iconic. It would be, I feel like when you said answer with your heart, I feel like everybody that was around in the OG bikini days, like we would all love to see it. Like, of course we would. It would be amazing, but no.
Okay. You can still hear me right before I start the sound to that.
About, yeah, just about.
Nope, didn't hear a word.
Something about Janet returning to the Olympia.
Do I think she will?
She will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do as well. I have a feeling. I'll be buzzing.
Yeah.
She does.
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
I think
Are you
underwater?
underwater?
I think
Is
he's
this
saying
better?
it. Yeah, there we go.
Good.
Okay. Look, and I'll tell you what, one more for Angie, one more for Emily.
Okay.
Marnie returns to fit model in 2026.
Yeah.
Angie, what's your answer?
What was the question? Sorry.
Marnie returns to the returns to competing, comes out of retirement to compete in fit model.
Who is this?
This is Marnie here.
Let her off. It's like 5 a.m. where she is.
Yes, I think yes, 100%. Do it scared, do it 50-50, just like Emily. She's just gonna put herself out there and see if it works. And if it works, it works. I think you should take that leap of faith.
What's the worst that could happen? What's the worst?
What's the worst? It's the year of why not?
There we go. Okay, guys, we're gonna wrap up there. Thank you so much before Mike disappears again, and we'll see you in next week's Bikini Inside episode.
Thanks for having me. Bye.